Hoy en Raanspeed Report, la Federación Internacional del Automovilismo es la encargada de regular el deporte automovilístico a nivel mundial. Incluye a más de 200 organizaciones en 125 países. Fundada en el 1904, es mundialmente conocida por regular las competencias de automovilismo más importantes del mundo. Pero la FIA trabaja con otros aspectos como lo son la ingeniería de las carreteras, la movilidad, el medio ambiente y la seguridad vial. Recientemente, una delegación muy importante de la FIA visitó a Puerto Rico y hoy verán la primera de dos partes de nuestra cobertura de esta visita. Así que, vamos al reportaje. Hola amigos, como les explicara en la introducción, la Federación Internacional del Automovilismo se encuentra de visita aquí en Puerto Rico y para que nos hable un poco sobre el propósito de esta visita me encuentro aquí con el señor Jean Todt. El señor Jean Todt es el presidente de la Federación Internacional de Automovilismo, la FIA. Así que, hello Mr. Todt, how are you today?
I'm fine and happy to be here in Puerto Rico.
Excellent. On behalf of all the racers and all the car enthusiasts here in Puerto Rico, we welcome you to the island. Mr. Todt, for the benefit of our viewers, what is the FIA in brief?
I mean, the FIA has two main pillars. One is as a regulator and legislator of motorsport around the world, and the other one is running mobility clubs around the world, around 132 countries, and support our automotive citizens and support them in all their actions, in all their needs around automotive, and of course claiming very strongly all which is about action for road safety.
Okay, and what is the main purpose of your visit this time to the island?
As you are probably aware, FIA is represented in Puerto Rico by a federation, which is the Federación de Automovilismo de Puerto Rico. And as president of the FIA, I'm visiting our membership. And that is the reason why I came with the delegation to meet the FIA and opportunity also, of course, to speak with drivers, with governments, and to understand better the situation about automotive and about car racing in your country.
We're here together with the Puerto Rico Safety Commission for driving. What is the big initiative of the FIA in regards to road safety?
Simply, the FIA is totally supporting the UN resolution, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, which is, of course, part of the programs in Puerto Rico. We cannot accept that 1.3 million people die every year on the road, that 50 million people are injured. And if you take the situation in Puerto Rico, you have had more than 360 people who died last year on the roads. 25,000 people have been injured. And simply this situation is not acceptable. So we are really hopeful that the Decade of Action will allow to save life and injured people over the next years.
Well, you know, I personally thank you because I'm a big advocate of road safety, and one comparison that I always think about is that in a war, a lot of people die. right? And you see protests and people, screaming about the war and the death, and definitely it's a big loss to lose a life in any matter. But I think that in traffic accidents, more people die than in a war, and I don't see people, making big protests and things like that. Don't you think?
I mean, unfortunately, you have a lot of reasons why you may die. And amongst the big causes of the society, you have malaria, tuberculosis, HIV, and road car accident. So we, as a governing body of motorsport and mobility organization, we have a strong responsibility. We have with our members like FIA to fight against that and to work very closely with all the organizations involved, and of course with the strong support of the government of each country.
I heard that your wife Michelle is a big an important figure in this action, and she couldn't be here for personal reasons, right?
Yes, I mean Michelle, my wife, is an actress, and she does believe in humanitarian causes, and of course among the most important topics she has chosen is to work for road safety, and at this title she's a global road safety ambassador like Michael Schumacher.
Okay, excellent. But Mr. Todt, many people think of the FIA as a racing entity and as a racing organization. How do you translate that, and what have you done to cope and to help in the traffic safety situation?
I mean, as I explained to you, the FIA has both responsibilities as a regulator of the sport and as defending its road car users and members. And of course you can do a very strong synergy, because a lot of effort and a lot of progress have been done in safety in racing. If you see what was happening 2 or 3 decades ago, and if you see all what has been done on circuit protection, circuit safety improvements on cars, on drivers, it's absolutely sensational. And we can use this experience to apply it on road car usage and users.
Yeah, I've been very aware, and I congratulate the FIA for the safety effort since 1994. We all know what happened then. It's been a big improvement in it.
It started much earlier than 1994. Everybody, of course, remember the very sad accident of Ayrton Senna, of Roland Ratzenberger, who died the same weekend in Imola. But you had accidents before. You had champions like Ronnie Peterson, Jim Clark, Jochen Rindt. I mean, in the past it was unfortunately very common to lose one life on the circuit, and it had become less common, but still motor racing is dangerous. You never do enough to protect the driver, to protect the spectators, but as I said, we are fully committed to improve every day the situation and to apply all those improvements on the roads.
And even before '94, Jackie Stewart's been a big advocate of driver safety, correct?
I mean, he had been amongst advocates for road safety, and fortunately all the sporting community is very much involved in advocating for road safety.
Mr. Todt, I see that you have designed certain areas. You have identified, it's like 10 points.
Yeah, it's what we call the golden rules. And in Spanish, reglas de oro de la FIA. Quiero sentirme seguro. And we have here listed some basic principle. What is road safety? Road safety, it's education. And then regulating those regulations, and it's the work of the police, and of course road infrastructure. Like I do that in a lot of developing countries, the road infrastructure are not at a proper level, and the level of the fleet of the cars. And again, in all the developing countries, the cars are too old, the cars don't enjoy the newest technology like ESC, electronic stability control, which is essential and you have now available on all modern cars, but unfortunately in 90% of the cases the cars are not young enough, and that is why so many accidents do happen in developing countries.
Because it takes from an effort from everywhere, the government, the infrastructure, the car manufacturers, even the parents. Don't you think that the parents of the children are the ones that should start, teaching their sons, or maybe the other way around?
I mean, you are right in both sides, but it's what we call education. And education starts when you are young, because so many pedestrians, so many children around the world are killed by going to school, by going to exercise some sport. So that is why it is very important that all the sporting community also is supporting action for road safety. But I started earlier, education is absolutely essential, and you are educated to learn how to speak Spanish, English, or any kind of languages, and you should be educated how to behave as a citizen on the road.
I think so too. And do you think that we'll be seeing more interaction between FIA International and FIA Puerto Rico in the future in the area of safety and other areas too?
Absolutely, yes. And that's again among the topic when I visit our clubs around the world to create a big awareness of the priority to give to road safety.
And for that, we thank you. Two more things. I know it's been a long day for you.